There we go. Test, test, test. Looks like we're good to go. Hey, everybody. Hope you guys are all having a great Thursday. A lot of stuff going on today in the market. As always, Loki likes to say hello whenever I go live. Until then, he's usually sleeping by my feet. But, again, hope you guys all had a great day. A lot of carnage in the cryptocurrency markets. If you've been going long for too long, you've been getting killed. If you've been going short for too long, you've been getting killed. And there's nothing really that can really make you feel better beyond the day trading that we talked about yesterday. When we were talking about some aggressive trades you guys could make yesterday, the clear one was going to be to buy. And boy, oh boy, that worked out for maybe, I don't know, an hour after we talked about it. But then it just started going down a little bit more sideways, and until eventually we ended up having another crash day here, which is going to be pretty just depressing for those people that are, really want to see another big move coming up. One of the things I want to remind you guys of before we start going to the technicals and things like that, get ready for more volatility over the next few weeks. I know we've been enjoying the upward sides of volatility, but it looks like we could still have some big moves coming our way. Okay, all right. One other thing, and I'll point this out when I do the technical analysis here in just a second. Moving averages, they are our lifeblood here. I did a day trade today off of the 20-day moving average, and it worked out. I'm already out of it. Didn't really hold on for too much longer. But we are still very close to that 20-day moving average, just like I said a couple days ago now. Watch that moving average, because whenever we're close to it, there's a lot of volatility. And right now, there's way, way more volatility than normal. And I think that's just because Bitcoin's having a lot of traders in it right now, when otherwise, there's usually it was, relatively stable, I guess, over the past few months before we had this big jump up due to the ETF news, all right? All right, let's go up here very fast. I put my contacts in just a few minutes ago instead of my glasses because I finally found them, but they're not really like 20/20 vision for some reason right now, so if you see me squinting, it's because my contacts are not as precise as they normally are. All right, hey, Paul, happy to see you back. Same with Nicholas. What's right here? Why do I have to wait? Sorry, guys. I had to make dinner for myself, and I had to make myself a huge thing of coffee. And it is 6:30, and yes, I'm drinking coffee, so I'm going to be up late tonight. Let's see. And hey, Isaac from Jersey. I haven't been to Jersey in years now. Is it Loki or low-key? Loki. I can say Loki. Oh, he comes over, yeah. It's like L-O-K-I. Yeah, Loki. And hey, Nico, happy to see you back, my man. Let me know if you have any questions. See me, guys. Ooh, got some phlegm in my throat. Good evening. Can you tell me which of the correct ones you use are both Forex or cryptocurrencies? I mean, they're both really good to trade. It just kind of depends on what you're looking for when you trade them. Right now, I don't think it's particularly the best time to try to learn how to invest in Forex currencies. Crypto is a little bit easier, especially because you have Bitcoin, which is typically a little bit better. But global events are really just straight up fucking with a lot of the stuff we're seeing when it comes to Forex pairs like the euro versus the dollar, because every few weeks we have inflation news, bond news, country's debt. America keeps on going on the verge of a shutdown here. It's a lot of chaos. Excuse me, guys. And that chaos can make it very hard to learn how to trade Forex currencies. As far as crypto is concerned, Bitcoin's been fairly nice to trade. Not too crazy. You can still do leverage just like what you can with Forex pairs. But I think there's more of a community to help you out, and they're both fun. It just, right now, I don't think it's the best to try to learn how to trade Forex unless you really have a lot of time, and not many people have a lot of time to just hunker down and learn something like that. And hey, Laughing Loose, how do you feel about the physical Doge on the moon next month? Doge will technically be the first crypto to actually go to the moon. I expect it. So this is how I view it. It's good news for Dogecoin no matter how you look at it, unless there's some type of failure on launch or something like that, right? I expect it to outperform if Bitcoin's going up. So if Bitcoin's going up close to that event, you're going to see Dogecoin going up even more. So you're going to have like an outperforming chart. If for whatever reason it doesn't happen or it's pushed back, you'll see Dogecoin pumping back down a little bit, or crashing back down a little bit. But I would still say, since Bitcoin still is fairly bullish here, because we did break out, we're just consolidating at this point, and we may be looking at another consolidation coming back down to $34,000 soon. It's still worth it to be in Dogecoins, particularly for that event. You probably will have a lot more fun day trading around the event than the event itself, because after the event, you're most likely going to be selling the news and then, just reworking what your next position is going to be. But yeah, I think it's going to give a boost to it, but more of an outperforming boost, maybe a spike here or there, but I don't think anything parabolic unless something really crazy goes on, because I don't think it's going to reach the moon in one day. Doesn't it take a couple days maybe to make the moon? I'm no expert on space travel, but I'm sure somebody knows. Back to reality. Heard 2024 about to give us a real good price January. I mean, I'm still expecting a larger crash here over the next few months, but the next few quarters, excuse me. But every time that's been my belief for a while now. Still hasn't happened. So I'm patiently going to be waiting. Gosh darn it, this freaking throat. It's because I got creamer in my coffee, and I normally don't drink milk, so milk in my throat makes. But yeah, I mean, I think it'll be fine overall, though. But anyway, going over to Bitcoin here, you see the breakout over the last few days. You see everything that's been good. You see the absolute carnage that happened over the last 36 hours, though. When I warned you guys about volatility, this is not the volatility I was expecting. I was expecting something like this. I was expecting it maybe to close down below and then maybe having some type of large bump after that. But no, we managed to, the whales came back in to buy, or people came back in to buy retail, and then boom, then of course the crash yesterday. Now, the same thing I told you guys a couple days ago when we were closing right here. I said there was a really good thing about this and a really bad thing about this. The really good thing about this still is that we managed to close above the 20-day moving average. That's very, very, very good. The bad news, just like last time, is exactly the same bad news. We are still right by that 20-day moving average, and that's going to lead us to a lot more volatility. So at this time, it really doesn't make much sense to try to long swing trading here unless you guys have a stop loss around $35,500, and then you're going to kind of wait and see what happens. And if it pops, it continues to pop, you're fine. But if you're buying right now at $36,560, you have about $100, maybe even $150 stop loss if you want to make it a little bit longer, and that's what you're looking for. Let me go over here to maybe like an hour chart. All right, because now we got a pattern to work with. Now we got this uptrend. Let me go right here, just lock this down just for a second. Your stop loss is pretty much going to be the low right here, 35,521. If we decide to break down below that, then, it's game over for a while. We'll be breaking down below the 20-day moving average. You'll see Bitcoin coming back down towards $34,000, which, again, isn't a terrible thing, but it psychologically, it just fucks with people so much. And you see the altcoins crashing, everybody's freaking out. Oh, my God, dear Lord, what do we do now, right? And all those new traders that hopped in over here, now they're just like, oh, my God, is this what it's like to be a bag holder? Okay, but now this is what I'm thinking. At this point, Bitcoin is up at intraday. It's at a few different resistance levels now. You can see on the 1 hour chart, cluster of moving averages. That's going to be hard to break out above. Go over here. Then was the 4 hour chart. Yeah, dealing with the 50 moving average here. We have had that death cross now. That's not really the best of signs, which is why I'm saying if you're buying, might as well just have that stop loss right around here around 35,500 or so. That's going to be the stop loss that I'm personally going to be using for any trades I did. I bought today, but again, that was only because we had broken back down below the 20-day moving average. And you see how big of a drop this was. Usually Bitcoin doesn't have those massive drops unless there's some really bad news. So that was just me saying, okay, let me take an opportunity here, especially because I missed a better opportunity over here before that pretty big move. We still have a while before we come into contact with any death crosses. That death cross might come somewhere over here late November if it is going to happen at all. Just so you guys know. So we really do want to see Bitcoin continue to climb sometime this week, maybe even the next week still. But, we are halfway through the month, so we want to see this thing start to climb fairly quickly. And I know it doesn't seem like it, but we have been consolidating for the past 8 days. 8 days of doing hot nothing except for going up and down in some really nasty extremes. But I just say now's the time to be patient. I'm still looking to trade altcoins over Bitcoin, but if you guys are looking at Bitcoin, the opportunity was around the 20-day moving average. Otherwise, if you're buying now, you're going to have about $100 to $150 stop loss. I'd probably give it a little bit extra to go to 150, but that's not actually a lot when it comes to stop losses. So it's actually an okay one. And, let's go over here and look at the percentage level for it. And let me go over here and do one thing. There you go. It's around 2.81%. So if it falls down there, at 10x leverage, you're losing about 30%, pretty much like 28%. Not terrible. And then, of course, you're looking for that. Let's just round up and say 3%. You're looking for it to get back up here close to resistance, and that's another 3.5%, I would say, or pretty much 4%. I would like to see if there was another dip. Maybe I'd like to prefer to buy that. But at the same time, I think most of you guys are probably going to be more aggressive than I am, probably buying right now just to kind of wait and see what happens. Because, even if you guys do a 5x leverage, you're really only risking about, what is it, 3%? Oh, geez, my brain just flew off. 15%, right? 5 times 3. Yeah, sorry, guys. Tired, even though I'm drinking a bunch of coffee. Actually, the coffee's been too hot to drink until now, so... Still got some time. But yeah, this is a traditional consolidation. We're going to see what happens next. Oscillators. Can I just hide this? No, I want to hide it compared to everything else. There we go. We're going to go through time frames here. First, let's go through the weeklies. Weekly momentum is still going up week by week. You are seeing some bearish moves up here on the stochastic, but overall, it's fine. Daily. Little bit more bearish, and I think you guys have seen that by all the big moves we've been having. A lot of that bearish move, that crossover started on November 5th, and if we kind of pop this back over here, November 5th was right here. All right, so we didn't really have too much bad news because we started to roll over here, and you can see that we actually started to break down in some of these higher lows, excuse me. But we still had that pump, and that kind of went back to that theory that every time we have a mini dump, the buyers come back in. It even happened right here. Remember, we had a massive swing that went back up here to 9% swing. That's beautiful. But now if I go back over here, this second one, I guess, made more sense right here. This was the second one. Then, of course, we managed to have that day of crashing. I wonder if this is my personal... MACD. Whoa, it doesn't have the settings on here? That's weird. Oh, there we go. No, this isn't my personal settings. This is the default ones. 20. Let's go to 40. So this is my personal settings for daily charts and weekly charts. Let me just pull this back and see if this was any more of a help, because I haven't been looking at it as much as I wanted to, because of course I had to do a bunch of cleaning this week. Now, that crossover just happened now. So this is usually where I'd probably be looking to not buy and just kind of wait it out and see what happens over the next few days. My next big buying opportunity really is going to be down here on the mid $34,000 range. I wish well, this is me being more of a casual trader, right? Or not as aggressive, I should say, not really casual, but I'd be looking to buy around 34,000, 34,500. Until then, I'm patiently waiting to see what happens with Bitcoin over the next few days. Because in reality, I don't expect us to really hold, because every time we're close to this 20-day moving average, the volatility is just freaking killing us. But that said, auto. What the heck is wrong with this one? Oh, I got it on not on the default. That's fine. Everything else is fair game. So you got Ethereum on the daily one, waiting for that breakout. We thought it might actually have an opportunity, but no. Ethereum looks like it wants to break all the way back down here below $2,000. Oh, it's already below $2,000. Never mind. Back down to 1867, or maybe just back down here to 1900. But Ethereum looks like it wants to clearly break back down. You're about to see that death cross there on my MACD. Stochastic's already tilting over. Go oil. Dogecoin's one of the bright spots here. MACD is still going strong. Momentum is gaining. Stochastic had that crossover a few days ago, right here. XRP coming back down. Still looks like it wants to hit a level of support. Oh, just had the MACD crossovers. At least Stochastic's back down into oversold territory. Oh no, I forgot this thing had that nasty move a while ago, didn't it? Yeah, now it's on about 15%. But everything looks a little bit bearish in the altcoin market, so you're pretty much waiting for Bitcoin to maybe flush down one more time if you're really going to be aggressive on the altcoin scene. And then from there, once it flushes, then you want to be buying back in there. Ape token, a little bit more consolidation. This one, we've talked about it a few times. It doesn't have the same effect on that 20-day moving average anywhere. Look at that. Not big moves, not big move. Well, I guess a decent move right here, but not a big move there. It's kind of weird how it works with this one. I'm not entirely sure why, but I still expect this one to have a pretty big flush out too as well. Maybe back down here towards $1.27. So I'm pretty bearish on altcoins. AVAX is its own special thing. Trade that as much as you want to. I'm pretty sure everybody and their mom's been having fun trading this one here. Another breakout just happened. Looks like last hour. And it looks like it may continue to pump up a little bit more. But most things here, consolidating. And this is the type of thing I'm looking for, though, over the next few days. Altcoins to have another flush out and then find a way to have a reversal. This is a 1 hour chart, so not a daily chart here. But still, same type of overall concept is what I'm looking for with altcoins. And if I see something like this, Bitcoin Cash, this is definitely looking like it wants to break down with the death cross coming on the daily chart, pushing us back down towards 211. Not talking about major crashes that bring us back down all the way to the lows we saw in August, right? But just something more like that. Not so much like, oh my God, the world is falling. And you're seeing this with a lot of things. Some things like Matic that broke out a little bit later than everything else. Remember, we talked about trading this one. I guess that was back over here. I don't know exactly when we started it, but a while ago. BNB looking a little bit more bearish here. Chili's a little bit more bearish here, ready to kind of tumble off. Loom, well, this thing already came down quite a bit, didn't it? Crow's looking to crash a lot. I mean, at least back down here to like the 80s, getting out of the 90-cent range. That's pretty much what you're looking for with a lot of altcoins. But when those dips come, that's going to be a perfect opportunity to buy for those people who want to be a little bit more aggressive. Not being aggressive right now is really a pain, especially for swing traders, because you're trying to wait for the best opportunity, but everything's moving so fast that the longer term technicals don't really have enough time for you guys to settle down just yet. Day traders, again, is just where they're going to have the most fun. Even here, when it comes to Bitcoin, I know I talk about moving averages a lot, and I probably talk about them way too much, but I want you guys to understand them a little bit more, you know. But if I go over here and I put on the 20-day moving average onto this 15-minute chart, you'll see where I took the trade today. Pretty darn simple, right? Right there, went down a little bit, peaked right up, and then I sold right here. Right there. Now, it did break out. I wasn't sure if it was going to break out, but I was like, hey, momentum is shifting. Stochastic was turning over. The regular MACD was turning over. Set settings. Oh, geez. MACD was turning over down here. I know it's hard to see because this damn little thing is on the bottom here, but it was a short in and out play while I played some video games. There you go. There you go. But those are the type of things I'm looking for right now. And so tomorrow, if we come back down to it, that may be another good opportunity. Overall, if we do come into contact with it again tomorrow, there's a good chance we're just going to break down below it though, so just be prepared for that. The daily candle is really situated in a spot where we could have a straight crash down to $35,000 tomorrow, or we could peak back up here towards 37,227. I'd be more positioned for a bearish move, but again, that goes against what's been happening. As a matter of fact, with every time we've been having these dips, it's been getting bought back up pretty substantially. My technical side will always win over what I see with my own eyes sometimes, and I know it's dumb to say it like that, but I'm still kind of more in the position of, hey, I'm just kind of wait and see what happens, and then hope that I have an opportunity to come back down here and buy Bitcoin below 35,000, in which case I hope we can find another reversal here. If not, I'll lose a position right here, and I'll lose a trade basically, and then I'll have to wait to see if we manage to hold some of those next levels of support, like 33,500 and so forth here. Possibly over the next week or so, we might even have to deal with the 50-day moving average. That'll be a lot more fun, but again, we would have to see a massive reversal way before that. Otherwise, we're going to have a death cross there. And again, Bitcoin death crosses, they do matter, especially after larger moves. They lead to some pretty nasty drops. Sometimes like this, it's a little bit after the fact, but this is a banking crisis, so I don't really put much stock into it. And then sometimes after major crash events, we have things like this where golden cross, then crash, then death cross, then pop. That's a little bit weird, but I think that was kind of messed up because of what happened with FTX. But traditionally, you know, even here, I thought we were supposed to be going up, but FTX, most of the time, they do give us a few days of really good pumps or really bad pumps. Last time here, this time only a few days, and so forth, right? There was a lot of clusters here as far as Fibonacci's and the monthly charts, but we don't have to talk about that now. So overall, I'm pretty much not even bothering to trade right now. Pretty much just charting out different possibilities and trying to figure out the best way to make some money. Why does it keep doing that? I hate that. There you go. And I don't know. It's not as exciting, I know, but sometimes just waiting for the event can be worth it, I would say. But until then, patiently waiting. If you guys are looking for a day trade and you guys are looking for something maybe a little bit quicker as far as Bitcoin's concerned, well, let me just draw it here for you guys so you guys can see what I'm talking about. You guys want to see a breakout right there. That'll give you a pretty decent surge. If you guys are looking to be contrarian and a little bit more aggressive than I am at this point, go to the 15-minute chart. Watch this breakdown. Wait for the consolidation to bring it back down below 36,285 and somewhere down here around 36,000. And then from there, you're going to try to play it as it comes back up and then has a breakout. This is what you would call definitely a more aggressive trade, way more aggressive than I normally go. But if what you're looking for, that's pretty much it. And your stop loss will probably be this next order block around here, 35,832. 10 to 20x leverage. You could have some fun with it, but just, you know, be cautious here. I am expecting this to probably break down over the next few minutes, and then from there, it'll move down a little bit. You'll see that rejection happening more on the 4-hour chart. Something's not right here. This needs to be... There we go. You'll see the 4-hour right here, a little bit more of a rejection. Then later on, either the next hour, because we've got an hour and 11 minutes, or the following hour, you will see a pretty big pump that takes you right back up here to almost to 37,000. Quick in and out trade. It probably, at most, you're holding it for 2 hours. That's the aggressive play of the day, I would say. And if you wanted to, you don't have to wait for it to come back down here. I guess some people might even just wait to see what happens on the 15 if we manage to hold this level, because you do see that golden cross coming right there on the 15, which does bode well. But again, me being me, I'm more cautious during these times, and I'm not entirely sure if we're going to break out here. If you factor where this is at, along with those 4-hour moving averages, though, and gosh darn it, working a little bit nicer, then you can kind of see how this could have a pretty big pop for the next 8 hours. But I don't know if anybody actually wants to hold Bitcoin like that for 8 hours. Some people do. I don't know. I'm too preoccupied with everything. But let me go over here to the 15. Yeah, the MACD is about to cross over here, get bearish. You're seeing the stochastic already get bearish here. Nothing too bad. It'll present an opportunity to buy, I'm pretty sure, and that's the one I'd be taking. If it happens sometime tonight, maybe I'll take a long on it, just to kind of have fun with it. As far as news is concerned, the stock market was pretty today. Nothing really crazy happened. And I think that's okay. We've had a bunch of pumps over the last few days. And again, just as a reminder, earnings have been shit. I think Walmart's down like 9% today, 10% today. Let me just hop on over here. I know it's not crypto related, but just showing how the economy is not good and the stock market is all close to all-time highs. Yeah, look at that. This is pre-market here. I don't know why it doesn't show that to you guys. I think I need to... Market blue. Yeah, you guys can see that. You can just see the carnage that happened here with Walmart. Earnings are not good, but the market doesn't seem to care. They're so excited about lower interest rates, cuts and stuff like that, risk on environment, that they are just buying and buying and buying. This may be more of a bubble type of event in the stock market, but again, as long as it keeps on going up, you guys can trade it all you want to. I'm just getting more concerned that we're flat out seeing bad data, and then like just give it a few days and the market's gonna pump back up. I think it happened with Target too. Target didn't have the best data. but yet pop back up. Now it hasn't really gone anywhere since the pump, but it's there. Oh, is this at a level of resistance or something? No. Oh, old one that doesn't really matter as much. But you can see how even the good, bad earnings, if it happens on a really good day, it still gets pumped up. So we'll see how it works out. I think even Disney's having a pump, and they didn't have good earnings. They lost subscribers, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, earnings right here, gapped up, and then all of a sudden, poof, now it's going running back up. I mean, now we did talk about buying Disney because at a support level, I did buy Disney, but from a technical reason, not for a earnings reason. I should probably get out of that trade now that I think about it. Totally forgot about it. Been focusing on crypto too much because crypto has been a lot more fun. All right, but we can watch Bitcoin for a little bit, wait to see if it actually does break down and what happens next. So far, though, you're seeing short-term movement, short-term oscillators. The momentum is going up. Longer term is definitely tilting back over. So that's what I'm talking about. We need to have that stronger move happening now and not later on. 15-minute chart seems to do okay. And hey, Laughing Loose Mike, your live Dogecoin Bitcoin stream is frozen. Oh, thanks for letting me know. The streams have been having issues over the last few days. Oh, let me go over here very fast. I forgot I have passwords to protect now. And like one of them went down and I had to contact them to fix it. Let me see if this works out very fast. I've showed you guys what the servers look like before, but I don't know if this is the exact one. I have to guess all the time. Oh, it's not loading. Oh, no, there it is. This is what the server looks like. You guys are probably hearing a little bit of double noise here. It looks like it's working well now. So if I go over here, the countdown timer should be working again. And that's all it takes sometimes to fix some of these things. And there we go. So let's zoom out here a little bit more. Zoom out here a little bit more. And there we go. All right, that's fixed up. But yeah, it's definitely a process here. Definitely a process. There we go. All right. Thanks for letting me know about that. Hello, Scratcher. Dogecoin Mars is a good buy since market cap is $88 million. It can easily reach $1 billion market cap in the bull run. I can see Dogecoin Mars reached $10 billion more. I mean, it's a good play. I own quite a bit of it myself. A lot of tokens because it is so cheap and it is low market cap coin. That's going to be something along with Dogecoin you guys are going to be watching as potential big pumps as we get closer to that launch date and when the launch actually happens. You would probably see a lot of stock or a lot of tokens around Dogecoin pumping up to that event. It'll be fun, but make sure Bitcoin's at least going in the same general direction or something more of a consolidation phase. That'll give you a much better opportunity to see Dogecoin come back up, because if Dogecoin falls right beforehand, it's going to make it pretty tricky to actually make a good profit off of it. So just keep in mind what Bitcoin's doing at the same time. And then Mixed Chick, I agree with you 100%. It'd be a lot better if they would stop making new Dogecoin. If it had a locked amount, it would have been holding up a lot better than it has been over the last few months. Even though over the last few months it has had that constant support level. And hey, Raphael, I don't know if the link's not working or not. I'll try to figure it out. And if you contact me through like one of the other non-stream modes, like a video, I'll try to reshare the link and see if it works. And if it doesn't, maybe it's just like you need a VPN or something, which I don't really recommend. I would say just find an exchange where it works the first time, but I'll look into it for you for sure. And hey, Crazy Man, I got eyes on Link. Let me see. 15-minute chart, bouncing a little bit. Daily, all my technicals in this are gone for some reason, but pretty close up to resistance. Oh, we broke above the 200 and now it's trying to hold that level here. I would say just be careful if Bitcoin breaks that trend line that we've been talking about, the larger one. You're going to see this come crashing back down all the way below $12. But on the daily chart here, what you're basically watching for is, again, that 20-day moving average. We did have a few breakdowns here over the last few days. Nothing crazy, just something like that. Right there, that's all you're looking at. Let's go to the chart. Let's go to that trend change here. So I would say if Bitcoin does break down, you'll probably see this come back down below 1240 and back down here 1030. Let me go over here to the daily chart. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what the 50 is, isn't it? I would say if I'm looking to buy this, it'd be around 1150 if Bitcoin doesn't manage to hold. Right now, if you see Bitcoin continue to hold and get a little bit choppier, then you're going to be looking to buy around that 20-day moving average. 4-hour chart. Again, you're having this death cross. You're having a nice order block here that's kind of been working out over the past couple days. So right now, if you wanted to buy, this is going to be one of your opportunities. And then from there, you're just waiting for that breakout right there. Stop loss is really going to be, I guess, a little bit lower than where you might want it to be, somewhere around 1345, 1347. And then from there, you just giving it an opportunity to pump back above some of those moving averages and have a pretty big punch. That big punch would probably happen sometime tomorrow morning if it is going to happen. And so you really don't have to worry about holding it for too long as well, because you're going to see this 20-day moving average creep down. I can find my little drawing tool. There it is, way down here. You see that come down, they're going to see this cross over. It'll usually have one big pump through all three things, which should be pretty nice. This is a 4-hour chart too, and it'll probably take you right back from where you might be buying it right now, around 1405 up to 1522. That's the day trade I'd be looking for. If you're looking for something more of a swing trade, of course, you could be looking for it to get all the way back up here to like $16 and above. That's a little bit too much for me. But the way Bitcoin's been going with all this volatility, anything's possible. But I would rather have that be more of a last scale out target rather than just waiting for it to hit before I sell any type of the trade you would buy down here. And then what's right here? Solana. Solana's kind of been doing its own thing this week. It already broke down below the 20-day moving average. It's done it twice now. Didn't really lead to the best results over the next few days, but daily chart. We're nowhere close to the 20-day moving average. We still have some room to go. Not something I'd be looking to buy right now. Looks like one of the support levels here is going to be around 50 bucks. Oh, yeah, of course it is. Otherwise, you're probably going to be looking to buy it around $52.65. I would just say $52.50 around there is going to be your next level of support. We had one over here, and it's trying to deal with that right now, but it broke down last time. I don't think it'd be actually wise to try to play with it this time. Yeah, 1 hour doesn't look the best. 2 hour. Yeah, just around 52 and a half bucks is where I'd be looking to buy into that, excuse me. How's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin's still trying to hold this little uptrend here as well. That might be kind of fun to watch just for a little bit. And hey, Ken, is Affirm a good long-term hold? You know, I've had Affirm for quite a bit of time. Probably best to not even look at the chart, but just look at Finviz very fast, then look at the chart. Smurf. Alright. My concern is that they aren't making money. And then it goes on to the fact that if we go into recession, are people going to be able to pay back the debts that they pretty much have from Affirm? And as far as I know, I don't think Affirm has been giving necessarily the best rates out there for people. Some people are getting good rates, I think as like an entry thing, or if you have really good credit, but I think a lot of people are getting like really shitty rates. This is where I get my clothes from. That's why they know who I am. But there we go. This is the weekly chart. So I've been buying this for a while. Now I think it's like $2,000 worth. Kind of in the same ballpark of how I view Robinhood. I want to see where it goes in the future. It's at least been finding some stability, and that stability has been good, but it's been stable enough where you started to see some of those longer term moving averages start to actually like get closer together, where you could have more golden crosses and things like that. So if I go over here, weekly charts, see what I mean? consolidated just enough for those moving averages to have those crossovers, and those crossovers have been what's nice here. Going over to the daily chart, crossovers from way back over here in June, looking a little bit better. To me, not the best thing to be really going gung-ho into, but to have a small position to kind of see where it goes, I think it's fine. When you look at see what happened during, this is 2021, it did manage to get to $182. I'm thinking I might look to sell this if it gets back into this order block around here on $35 to $40. If we have a more slowing down of the economy, I would buy more. But right now, I would say it's more of a nibbling type of thing for long-term investment. Heavier buy-ins, not really like catastrophic buy-ins, but heavier buy-ins if we manage to have a pretty rough market, and then from there maybe look for something more of an acquisition, kind of what the acquisition that I'm looking for when it comes to PXT. But I'm pretty sure this thing is already coming. False breakout here, which broke my freaking heart. That's because oil stocks are oil's not doing so hot. All of a sudden it's coming all the way back down here to like 67. I'm wondering OPEC needs to cut some more oil here, then not have a rebound, then you'll see oil stocks coming back up. Please, oh please, let the OPEC cut oil prices, oil supply. You guys don't want that though, because you guys want cheap gas. My oil stocks want that because I want them to go higher. There you go. No worries, Remeko. Dogecoin inflation will be decreasing every year. In 50 years from now, Dogecoin will become de-inflation coins. Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but what do you call? I'd prefer if Dogecoin was not making new tokens. I mean, it would be so much easier for the price to climb higher and higher and higher. In my opinion, they should probably change that policy, but they're doing what they want. It's their token. I don't know much about the actual sophistication aside of Dogecoin, but I'd buy a lot more if it was a limited coin. Let's just say I'd buy a lot more. And hey, Alan, I'm happy to see you back, my man. Let me know if you have any questions. And hey, Crypto Crotch, 88. Yeah, let's check out 88 very fast. We only talked about it for just a second here. I mean, that's at a pretty big level of resistance. It tried to break out yesterday, but it actually came back down pretty hard. Not terrible considering what Bitcoin did yesterday, or this crash that we saw earlier today, I should say, from the candle perspective. It looks like it still has quite a bit of momentum. You are seeing it die back down a little bit though, so perhaps if you see a nice move, probably breaking above 39.52, I might feel more inclined to actually day trade it. Short-term wise, you're pretty much looking for that breakout here. Let's go to the hour chart. See, but yeah, it already broke out, so it's not going to work. The daily chart, sure, but the hourly chart, see how it managed to hold. Resistance level seeing right now. This is going to be a little more difficult. Even now, the way you're looking at it, it's going to have to be like that. See, technically broke out. Now we're still coming back down. I wouldn't really trust this too much, besides more of a sideways continuation of the consolidation that we've been seeing ever since the dump from yesterday. So I'd give it more time to see what it can do. Otherwise, if you want to be more aggressive, you could try to buy into it right now with the stop loss of 36 cents, so a penny and a half. And then from there, just wait to see if it can manage to break out, because you can see on the daily chart, it was trying to break out. And then Bitcoin managed to have that dump today, and it kind of killed the mood, so to speak. But it's trying, and it's still at that level of resistance, so you still have some moves to go. Usually buying at resistance is a tough thing to do unless you want to buy once the breakout is achieved. Again, it did try to break out here. You can see the pop that happened. Once you break out above it, much easier to keep on going, and then so forth. It kept on going. Then, Bitcoin. Then Bitcoin came across. Or, and Bitcoin can drag everything down. Oh, sorry guys. I had a poll, and I was wondering why the questions looked kind of funny. And it's because my poll never went through. Oh, I'm wearing a hat too. I forgot about that. This is a Columbia sportswear company hat. I don't have many hats, but I like having hats. because now that I'm bald, my head gets cold and it's wintertime, so I want to be warm. All right, let's go over here very fast. I don't think there was much news today. IBM suspends advertising on X after report says ad right next to anti-Semitic content. I feel like there's anti-Semitic content on every platform, but there's a lot of testiness going on these days. Macy's is up 5%. Anything else? Judge lifts court gag order on Trump. That's interesting. Uh-oh. Looks like Santos is getting kicked out of Congress. Oh, that's going to be interesting. They'll probably put a Democrat in there to replace him because isn't New York a Democratic state? That means Republicans are going to have even less leverage in the House. Oh, what's this? I don't want to actually watch the video. I just want to talk about whatever this is. There we go. BlackRock files spot Ethereum ETF application with the SEC. CNBC reports. This is the story? This is probably old news that they're rehashing into a video to talk about and saying it's news that's happening today. That's probably what they're trying to do here. And now you guys can see Bitcoin breaking down ever so slightly on the shorter trend. This is going to be your opportunity if you guys want to go long. Again, high risk opportunity, but for those of you guys like to day trade, this is going to be one of those day trades where people are going to be liking it a lot. Think of something more of a higher lows. So, you know, we have a high, that's me a lower low, a lower high over here, then another lower high over here, then a breakout, and then, you know, then you're making your money. There's everything else here. Everything else is pretty stable right now. I know Pepe was up a lot yesterday, but I think it came back down, gave all of its gains back up. Yeah. Remember we talked about buying Pepe, there it went, and then here it is again. It's still resting on that support level that we were talking about. Even broke out there. Yeah, man. Sushi's down 6% after having a really good last 4 hours were just fine. Now it's just hitting resistance levels, and now it's in a little bit of trouble, but that's okay. These 4 hour moving averages are a big level of resistance for a lot of players out there. That's a stable coin, KDA, ICP. Oh, ICP already had its bump though in the last 4 hours. See, these are some good trades when it comes to that type of stuff. We do not need that many lines on ICP. GTC, Gala already had that pump up above moving averages. Ethereum Classic is something I'd be looking at for a day trade. Doge on Mars. Yeah, it'd be okay. Nothing crazy, but back up here to 1590. Sheep. Crow. Oh, Crow looks like it wants to freaking go the opposite way. Look, Crow looks like it wants to crash. But Crow's been up a lot over the last few days. Yeah, that. It definitely needs to crash a little bit. Oh yeah, we already talked about this the other day. Come back down to support, and then you want to hook it and buy it. I mean, it might not even make a new low here, but you're seeing that death cross is over here, and you see the bearish momentum over here as well. Doesn't really bode well for the future direction, even if Bitcoin manages to hold strong here. And let's see, Bitcoin 5. Yeah, just now breaking down. So nothing crazy happening right now, guys. Mostly some really boring consolidation that I wish was more exciting, but definitely is not too exciting. Earlier today, it cost $125 to swap a Matic coin. What is going on? I do not know. I mean, I expect a whole bunch of people have been trying to trade and do a bunch of stuff over the last few days because of all the extra volatility. But yeah, honestly, I have no idea. I don't really like to swap tokens too much because I hate paying the fees for them. Anything else going on over here? I don't think so. Elon, regulatory approval. I mean, this is pretty much why everybody keeps buying into Bitcoin. Everybody's afraid. But honestly, if you guys are waiting for this to happen, it's better to have a swing trade in mind, but it's really just any other swing trade with a very, very large stop loss. Or maybe you don't have a stop loss at all, so maybe you're looking at a very low multiplier on the trade, right? Maybe you don't need to go to 10x or 5x. Maybe you're just happy with 3x. That's pretty much what you're looking for right now. But we don't know exactly when this is going to happen. And as you guys know, Gary Gensler hates crypto to his soul. Give away Bitcoin short. See bull market process, all this type of stuff here. I wish the charts were this easy and it was this easy to kind of think about it like that, but most people sell right here and then they'll crash out right here. Not the best way to look at it, but still, nothing else going on there. Generally, it's 1 cent. Sometimes 4 cents, but over $1.10. That just means somebody's swapping out a bunch of them then, or something similar. It's overwhelming the system a little bit. Orca? I don't even think I've actually looked at Orca. Crypto. Weekly chart. Like most tokens right now, it's at a pretty big level of resistance. Nothing bad with it. Usually not the best not the best place to be buying. It did peak up here a couple hours ago before the death cross. The 1 hour chart. How's the 4 hour chart looking? Broke down below that one. Yeah, really, these 20 and 50 moving averages in the 4 hour chart are real good for volatility right now. It's at an okay opportunity to start buying right now if that's what you wanted to look for. So it's in that zone, or it was in that zone a few minutes ago. I would have that stop loss be a little bit lower there, around like 214 or so, and then kind of wait to see what happens next. Traditionally here, it almost feels like it wants to do something more of a double top, but since we don't know what Bitcoin's going to be doing, it still has the opportunity to go a little bit higher. Bitcoin looks bearish over the next few days, but the next few hours could definitely be something. This is a 4 hour chart. Let's go back to the 2 hour. You might see it come back up to the 20 moving average on the 2 hour and then actually fall back down. That'll give us better opportunity to kind of see what's going on here, because I doubt it's going to manage to break out above this thing right here anytime soon. Yeah, I wouldn't be longing this as far as a swing trade, but it is something if like hold it for a few hours. It looks like it's an okay opportunity to buy in. Wait for the reversal to come back up and bring it towards 240, and then from there you have a couple opportunities. You could turn it into a swing trade by just scaling out a portion of it kind of around 235 to 237, or what you could do is you could say, hey, I'm just gonna wait and see what happens. If it breaks it above 243, I'm gonna hold on to it until it strikes up to 250, and then from there sell everything. Or you could start, hey, I want to scale out here and here. I would scale out here at resistance, here after the breakout, and then here for my last position, then double down and rebuy into position if it breaks out here. But again, the way Bitcoin's going, I feel like it's a shorter term win, medium term loss, medium term short, I would say, actually. And here you got Bitcoin actually breaking down right here as well. I don't think to make a new low just yet today, but something more of a consolidation. If it's going to break down again, Bitcoin, I feel like it would probably happen sometime tomorrow. Not necessarily tomorrow's candle, but tomorrow, so like 8 hours plus from now. But you know, I'm never perfect as far as timing is concerned. Let's see. Hey, crypto paper route. Yeah, definitely probably the best way to go. When it's expensive, there's no rush to do anything. Don't try to get caught up in that. You're probably going to see a lot of people losing a lot of money having to pay that amount of money, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Well, you probably understand how crazy it is yourself. IMX, I don't know much about IMX, just like the last one. Okay. 15 minute, this one already took off, so I wouldn't be trying to play with it too much. This is more of scale out territory. Daily chart. It's really been consolidating here for the past, what, week? Saturday? Yeah, pretty much since Saturday, so almost a week. Moving average right there for some extra volatility and fun. Tapped on the order block, there is your opportunity. Yeah, this is more of the opportunity where I say, oh, well, this isn't really an opportunity for much. You're really at a level of resistance. there's not really much I would be saying to do right now besides just wait. And if you already bought down here when it hit the order block, you could sell at this point. But this doesn't seem like an opportunity for me to want to be buying here. If we have some type of breakout in the future, then I'd be looking to do a little bit more of a day trade. Right now, they definitely already hit that order block. Just not as much as people would probably like. But over the last day or so, you had a couple hours in here, a couple hours in here. Let me actually go to the 15-minute chart. Yeah, you had about half an hour here and a half an hour, close to about 3 hours over the last few hours that you could have bought into this. That was really the opportunity to buy. Then you had the change of character. You had the bullish crossovers on the 15. Overall, that was kind of the move there. Plus the MACD crossover over here. Stochastic went a little positive over there. After the order block, whether you went for this one or this one. This one, I guess the momentum was shifting more in your favor. So more people bought here. I guess, well, yeah, which led to that. But this is more of, hey, this is scale out toward territory, not so much buying territory. The best time to buy this would have been around the support levels here, but it was a good trade if you took it from there. I don't know if you did, but it was a pretty solid trade. And of course, Bitcoin's still breaking down out of this small uptrend here. Let's see. How do I... Oh, okay. Sorry, I was still trying to practice out that chat feature, but I just don't know why it's not working. I just don't know. Press chat. Oh, well. It'll come to me in the future. Alright. Well, looks like everybody's done with the questions and stuff. The way I'm looking at it right now, guys, before I head off, is Bitcoin is looking just fine. It needs to consolidate a little bit more. Watch to see what happens tomorrow if it breaks down below this trend line. Then you guys have more concern, and then it's going to be breaking down at the same time below the 20-day moving average. That's going to be where you guys lose hope for a little bit as it comes back down to 34,000, 34,500. That's where I'm looking to buy a large chunk of Bitcoin around that 34,500 for something more of a short-term day trade, a minor swing trade with a short-term stop loss around $34,000 even, and then we'll see what happens next. But because we're still so close to these moving averages here, just get rid of this stuff here. There's another easy chance we have another big drop of 1,600 points tomorrow, and that 1,600 point drop could take us right back down to here around 34,500, 34,600, and that's why I'm more inclined to buy. After that, it's a short-term pop, and then we have to start worrying about what happens if we break down below 34,000, but that's not really my concern right now. Big thing here, guys, is watch closely to see what happens with this trend line. It'll give you a huge tip on which way we're going. Short-term traders, though, for day traders out there, look to buy over the next hour, 1 to 2 hours Bitcoin as we're taking this dip right here. Wait for a higher low and wait for an explosion that takes you back up here to 36,800, 900. And then you guys are looking for a price target of around 37,000. From there, get out or hold a little bit longer if you guys want to. For me, primarily, I'm only taking conservative day trades at this point until we break down. We have a seismic boom back up here towards 37,500. In which case, then I'll be more excited about doing more bullish trades that maybe have the opportunity for a breakout. Right now, you guys are basically just on 20-day moving average watch, which isn't the best, I know, but definitely something that you'll enjoy watching, because when you break it below it, it'll be catastrophic for you temporarily, but it'll give you guys a really good buying opportunity. And if we manage to hold it, the longs you guys are babying into right now, or that breakout that we talked about a few minutes ago, the other breakout that can happen, that's where you guys can make a lot more money. But for now, it's kind of like it's consolidation, waiting, very boring. But this is something where you guys would just have this chart on one of your well, I don't know if you guys have multiple monitors, but one of your monitors, while you play video games, or you guys just have a simple alert by going over here to the hourly chart and just saying, hey, right click it, add alert on trend line, and then hitting create, and then all of a sudden when it hits that trend line, you can buy in with the alert on trading view, Or you do the same thing here and say, uh-oh, now I gotta wait for the larger move to come back down while we're breaking back down to 34,500 or so, okay? So, hope to see you guys a little bit tomorrow. I will be live twice tomorrow, I have a feeling, because of all the volatility, but day traders have an opportunity to make some good money right now, so have fun with it.